benches made out of concrete, special for group discussion and outside studying. As you can see, university students can enjoy the breeze, the fresh air. Imagine, today here I am at the University College of Education, Duce, an amazing place. So join me in my adventure today. As a lecturer, we're going to explore, discover, because my future occupation, live the future. My future occupation. A blessing day. My future occupation.
The future looking good to me. I'm ready to go.
Leo niko na mhadhiri wa chuo kikuu cha Dar es Salaam. Ni vizuri sana kwa sababu leo tutaenda kujifunza mambo mengi makubwa. Wow, big issue. Lakini leo ni nafasi nzuri ambayo nimepata mimi pamoja na wewe kujifunza kutoka kwa Dr. Lily. Nafasi nzuri. Usipoteze kabisa. Dr. Lily, naomba ujielezee kwa watoto wenzangu, wewe ni nani hasa na unafanya nini?
Okay, Michelle, like you have said, I'm the lecturer, Dr. Lily Mlamula, the lecturer from the University of Dar es Salaam. Working at the Dar es Salaam University College of Education, which is one of the campuses of the University of Dar es Salaam. Okay. And as a lecturer, what does it mean? What does my job entail? We can simply say that a lecturer is a university teacher. So it's easy for your fellow kids to understand that I am the university teacher. But being a university teacher, it takes more than teaching. As lecturers, we have to do teaching, we have to do research, but we also do have to do some public service activities. So basically our task involves those three packages: teaching, researching, and public services. And in public services, we can have some outreach activities, we can have some consultants activities, all those activities that can make us reach the community wherever we are. So a lecturer is one big bucket with three small buckets in it.
Okay.
Teaching, researching, and public services included.
Wow, amazing. Imagine, it is so beautiful. A lecturer, one bucket with tiny mini buckets inside. Teaching, research, and outreach activities. So wonderful. So watoto wenzangu mlioko nyumbani mna dreams za kuwa doctor, blockchain engineer, and lecturer like Madam Lily. Lakini pia nina swali. Madam Lily, was this your dream job?
As I was growing, I was seeing myself as a doctor.
Wow, doctor.
But what should I say? You might be planning something and God decides the other way. So later on I come to realize that God still maintained my doctorate, but not as a doctor of human beings, but rather a doctor of theology. Okay. So I'm still a doctor, but in another way.
So it's like 2 in 1, right?
Yeah, it's 2 in 1. So actually, coming back to your question, as I was growing up, I was dreaming of becoming a doctor. And I had that dream until I reached, I think, Form 3, Form 4 in secondary school. And then I started to think outside the box. I remember at one time I was visiting a construction site. Okay. And saw these people wearing those, engineering hats. Yeah. And then I went back to my fellow students. I told them, you know what, I think I'm going to become an engineer. So I shifted from becoming a doctor of medicine to engineering. Once I finished my ordinary level secondary education, I joined the advanced secondary school and I opted for PCB. So I went back to my Doctor of Medicine pathway. I did PCB. Do you know PCB, Michelle?
No.
PCB is a combination that is actually one of the route to becoming a doctor in Tanzania. You start physics, you start chemistry, and then you start biology.
And so I also heard that, I think one time I heard that it is one of the most complex. It is a very complex combination. So how is it? Can you give us a little bit of experience?
It might be complex, but it's also doable, Michelle. So anyone can do PCB. Even you can do PCB. So it's not easy, but with hard work and determination, you can do it. So I was still thinking of becoming a doctor. But when I reached Form 6, that is the last level of finishing advanced secondary education, I changed my mind. I said, no, I think I want to become an environment scientist. That's where I did a U-turn. Instead of becoming a doctor, I moved to becoming an environment scientist. So as I'm talking now, I'm a doctor by PhD.
Wow.
But I did my undergraduate studies in conservation, wildlife science and conservation, which is part of environment science. I did masters in natural resources assessment and management, which again is part of environment sciences. And my PhD was also natural resources assessment and management, which is again part of environment science. So I'm a lecturer teaching environment science and ecosystem management, which is what I've studied, and did all my tertiary education. So I'm a doctor. I'm still a doctor. I was dreaming of becoming a doctor, so I'm still a doctor. Only that I'm a doctor.
Okay, that is wonderful. Imagine she did a U-turn to her decision. Sometimes kubadilisha kile ambacho ulikuwa unataka kuwa sio mbaya. It's very okay, but make sure you're enjoying your career. Just so, Madam Lily, there are a lot of kids out there who are going to pass through the same situation. First, you saw yourself as a doctor of human beings, but now see yourself as a doctor, environmentalist, right? And so, labda kuna wengine ambao washe kupitia hilo tatizo, lakini wanaona kama hawaelewi bado mwelekeo wao. Je, what can you advise?
Unajua, mara zote huwa ninawaambia wanafunzi wangu, ninawaambia wanafunzi wadogo pia kama wewe, na vijana wengi wanaonizunguka, ya kwamba ni sawa kufikiria, ni sahihi kabisa kuwa na ndoto, lakini pia usijilimit kwenye ndoto moja tu. Kwa Kiingereza tunasema we have to think outside the box. So you might have your dream, lakini usizuie na nafasi nyingine zilizopo nje ya ile ndoto yako. Mwisho wa siku uwe na ndoto kadhaa. You have one major dream, lakini angalia hivi kuna vingine pia huko nje vinawezekana.
So multiple dreams.
Yeah, we can say multiple dreams. Kuwa na ndoto, simamia ndoto yako, lakini pia fikiria nje ya box. Kwa mfano, Michelle, nitakwambia, I've seen this happening to a lot of students who are dreaming of becoming doctors of medicine. In order to become a doctor of medicine, there is an issue of pass mark. Sawa? Hiyo huwa ni factor ya kwanza. Ya kwamba vyuo vingi vinataka wanafunzi ambao wana ufaulu fulani. Inawezekana wakati unafanya mitihani yako ya kumaliza elimu ya sekondari kufikia ule ufaulu. Now,
Yes.
if that happens, it's not the end of the world. Doctors are there, lakini kuna watu wengi wanaowasupport ambao wote they're working towards ensuring the health of the human being, the health of our country. Kwa hiyo unaweza usiwe doctor of medicine, lakini ukaenda kusoma kitu kingine ambacho kinamsupport yule doctor of medicine. Kwa hiyo kama ndoto yako ilikuwa kufanya kitu kwa ajili ya kugusa afya, sekta ya afya, bado utafanya sekta ya afya. We have lab technicians. We have nurses. We have microbiologists. We have researchers in public health.
Okay.
Umeona Misha?
Yes.
Kwa hiyo always I will tell my student, I tell the young generation that it's very important to dream, but you should not just restrict yourself into a single dream. Think outside the box. Nasema tusiweke mayai yote kwenye kikapu kimoja. Ya kwamba kile kikapu kimoja kikianguka, kama mayai yote yako kwenye kile kikapu, basi yote yanapasuka. Kwa hiyo dream, lakini mayai yote yasiwe kwenye kikapu kimoja. Factor ya kwanza inaweza ikawa ya ufaulu. Factor ya pili inaweza ikawa tu ni mabadiliko tu ya ndoto zako. Sawa? Kama ambavyo iko. Mabadiliko tu ya ndoto zangu kama nadhani hata nikienda huko na kwenye mbona kuzuri. Umeona? Yeah.
Change of interest.
Change of interest. Change of ambitions. Etc. So have a dream. Work on your dream. But you should not restrict yourself from thinking outside the box.
So, as we heard, the key is multiple dreams. Usiweke limit, kuwa na ndoto nyingi ambazo hata kama hautaweza kufanikiwa katika ile ndoto yako ulikuwa unaiona au ulikuwa unataka kuwa, unaweza ukaenda kwenye other sectors ambazo zina support the dream ambayo ulikuwa unataka kuelekea. Dr. Lily, ulisema kwamba you're a lecturer, and lecturer it's more than teaching because you have outreach programs and research. So can you tell us a bit about that, because we only know about lecture stuff right now?
Yeah, thank you very much, Michelle. Yeah, you're right. Our task is more than teaching. Our bucket has teaching, has research, has public services. And in public services, we need the outreach activity, we have consultants activities, and all those kind of activity that helps us bridge the gap. So, to begin with research, as a lecturer, you have to do some research and contribute to knowledge in this society.
Okay.
And with research, you have to do research in your area of expertise. You don't just go and do random research. For instance, I'm an environment scientist, and one of our key environmental issues nowadays are the issues of climate change. So I'm doing some researches in the area in climate change.
Okay.
For instance, we have an ongoing research that we are trying to look on the technologies that can help communities that are involved in small-scale farming activities to preserve their produce. So that is research in the area of environment.
Okay.
That is a research in the area, specifically in the area of climate change. This is research that I'm actually proud of because we are funded by one of the leading research, I can say research organization.
Okay, wonderful.
Syria. And so we won this funding. We actually announced in one of the very huge conference known as Climate Change Conference of Parties. So
That was wonderful, actually.
yeah,
Big thing.
yes. So we do researches in our areas of expertise. So we don't just end teaching in the lecture theaters, but we have to do something and contribute to the body of knowledge. So we do research. But the third bucket is public service. We have to bring solutions close to the communities. And public services include some activities like consultancy. Do you know consultancy?
No.
So consultants, Michelle, in Swahili tunaiita huduma ya ushauri.
Okay.
Yaani ya kwamba ni ushauri. Wewe Michelle unataka kuwa nani?
My dream job. I want to be an ambassador.
An ambassador. Okay, that's nice. So, okay, let's say now you're an ambassador, means you're a diplomat. Generally, you're all under an umbrella of diplomats, right? So, kwenye consultancy, unaweza ukalazimika kwenda kutoa ushauri kwenye eneo lako la nini? Diplomacy. Sawa, eh? Inawezekana kuna nchi fulani inataka kupata taarifa, ushauri wa kitaalamu. Kwa hiyo unaenda pale unawapa ushauri wa kitaalamu. That is consultancy. So they are consulting you as an expert and get your opinions on the particular issue. So that is consultancy, which is part of the public services. Sometimes you do go and do some activities that have been assigned by the government. For instance, Michelle, I'm a lecturer, environment scientist, ecosystem management, which all falls under an umbrella of biology as well when you're talking of ecosystem.
Yes.
So, for instance, I had an opportunity to contribute to the development of secondary school biology books.
So that one.
Did you see that?
I saw it.
Yeah, perfect. So that is part of the public service.
So is it like uhariri something like?
What we did with the development of the books, yes, ilikuwa ni uhariri. Yeah. Lakini that I've taken it as an example of the public services that can be done.
Okay.
Yeah. So unaweza ukaenda kutoa uhariri, unaweza ukatoa mafunzo maalum kwa watu, unaweza ukatoa ushauri elekezi kwenye jambo fulani ambalo linaendelea. Kwa mfano, Michelle, umeona wakati unaingia hapa chuoni kwetu, kuna majengo yanaendelea kujengwa. Yeah. Majengo yote yanapokuwa na jengo ni muhimu sana kuangalia athari za kimazingira. Ni nani atatoa ushauri? Mwananchi. Yeah. Kwa ushauri wa kimazingira lazima mtu wa mazingira, mtaalamu wa mazingira atoe ushauri. Kwa hiyo hizo ndio buckets tatu muhimu sana kwa sisi kama.
So, we all heard what the 3 mini buckets inside the ginormous bucket contain. As she said, a big program that she got to do. She did a lot of outreach services, but that was one among the amazing one, and she's really proud of it. I'm hoping you can also be proud of what you're going to do when you grow up. So, catch up with me in my future occupation. Don't forget, this is my future occupation. Friends, Dr. Lily here has said a lot about the 3 mini tiny little buckets. But this one burning question that I had in mind. So, Dr. Lily, can you tell us more about the achievements that you have made? Like, how many students have you mentored till now? So how range? Like, what's the approximation, your achievement, your big goals? Have you fucked them?
Asante sana Michelle, asante sana. Swali lako ni jipesi lakini sio jipesi. Kama lecturer ninafundisha wanafunzi wengi. My biggest achievement first is having all my students obtaining their degrees.
Okay.
That is the biggest achievement of any lecturer. So whenever we are actually attending the graduations and you see your students being awarded their degrees, that is the biggest achievement. Okay. So I've seen a number of students graduating. That is my number one achievement. But in addition to that, I know that I usually, as a lecturer, you're also being assigned these specific students that you are assigned a role as the academic advisors.
Okay.
Those are the group of students that you have to work with them closely, giving them some academic advices. So these are some few that I have I have to talk to them and tell them you will discuss on their future careers, etc., etc. So I know that some of these students have taken my advices. And doing such advice is usually thinking outside the box. I know some are now researchers.
Okay.
Some are researching at the University of Health and Life Sciences. some are researching in environment, etc., etc. So that is also my other achievement as an academic advisor. I usually advise them to think outside the box. When they think outside the box, they also grab opportunities that are outside the boxes. But also, my other achievement would be in the area of research. I'm having some researches going on, like I've told you, so that is also an achievement.
Okay.
Also in the area of public services, there are some activities going on. Also, that is one. But my number one achievement is having my students graduating and being awarded their degrees. That's the biggest achievement. Each year, I teach around 300, 400 students in my course.
Whoa.
And imagine having those students graduate.
Imagine.
So that is the biggest achievement as a lecturer.
Okay, that is big. Imagine having class of more than 300 students. That is so wonderful. Imagine a multitude. Means with any that is so big. That is so big issue. Imagine Dr. Lily has managed to achieve a lot of big stuff. That is so ginormous. Kuna challenge ambazo kila mtu anapitia. Of course, as we know kwamba kila kitu mnachokifanya lazima kiwe kina challenge. Kuna upande wa disadvantages and advantages. But so, I have another flame question. Dr. Lily, can you tell us the challenges that you pass through? What do you go through when you're doing your lecture activities, your outreach programs, public services, and those mini buckets of yours? Which challenges do you get ukiwa unafanya kazi yako, unakumbana na nini ambavyo vinakupa tatizo ya kuendelea au can you tell us?
Thank you, Michelle, for your good question. Of course, in every action, that we do, there are usually some challenges. Hakuna njia ambayo iko imenyooka tu. Sawa, Michelle. Like I told you, my biggest achievement is having my students, all of my students graduate. Do you imagine how I feel when some of these students fail to graduate?
Bad.
Yeah, I feel very bad. And you know why I feel bad? It's because I'm a lecturer, but also I'm also a mother. So I feel bad as a lecturer that my students have not achieved what they are supposed to achieve.
Yeah.
But also, in my other heart as a mother, I also feel bad for the sake of those parents. So, number one challenge is when the students are not serious in their classes.
Yes.
And that is a problem. You know, not everyone is very committed to studies. So you might have a group of students that are not taking their studies seriously.
And this can also be due to peer pressure, like groups or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, you're very right. It might be due to peer pressure. A student might come here very, very clean student, ambitious, and then they come here and meet some group of other students, and then they, I don't know if it's correct to say that they pollute that student.
It's hard because you're environmentalist, so like pollute. So
So, if the students are not serious, that is a problem to me. Because as a teacher, as a lecturer, I really wish all of my students to do well in the exams, be awarded outstanding performances, and go and excel in them as well. So that is one of the challenges.
So that is a challenge as a lecturer.
As a lecturer. Of course, in other buckets as well, in research there might be some challenges. For instance, we might be having some research ideas, but in order to do a research, you need some funding. And where do you get the funding? You have to look for funds. You have to beg for funds from those people who are having the funds.
So I guess the problem there is acceptance or something.
The problem there is actually convincing the funders, because they usually receive a lot of proposals. So to penetrate the funding bucket, that is also a challenge. So you have to convince, probably funding is free to researchers all over the world. Accessing that funding is a challenge. And once you access the funding, you have a reason to say. So that can be a challenge in research. But of course, sometimes researches, in researches we don't research. Not every research is done in the laboratory. Sometimes you have to go and talk to the communities.
Okay.
That means we expect them to accept your research and cooperate.
Okay, like do you do like some questions to the members of the society?
Yeah. So in case you go there and these people are not giving you the expected cooperation.
Hear that? You also have like
So in every area there are usually some challenges. But challenges are ours to take and conquer.
Okay.
So these challenges, tunasema, we can take them as stepping stones to success. So even as you're growing in the shell, utakutana na challenges. Sawa? Lakini zile challenges ziwe ni nini?
Stepping stones
Towards
success.
Take that.
Thank you. That was awesome. I heard that? So, always make challenging as a stepping stone towards big success. Always take challenge as an opportunity to be creative in life. And so, Dr. Lily, unawezaje kuwashauri kijana, mtoto mwenzangu au binti ambaye sasa hivi yuko very attentive ananiangalia? Je, awe lecturer kama yeye? Lecturer ni kazi nzuri, kama tunavyoona unafurahia a lot of achievements, and so how can you tell mtu ambaye ananiangalia sasa hivi, binti mwenzangu, kijana, mtoto mwenzangu ambaye yuko very passionate about being a lecturer?
Michelle, nawaambia vijana wenzako, karibuni sana kwenye ulimwengu huu taaluma. Tunaita ulimwengu wa taaluma. Ulimwengu wa
kitaaluma.
Sawa kabisa. Being a lecturer is nice. It's awesome. Imagine contributing towards the future careers of a lot of people. That is a big contribution. Imagine inspiring people. That is a big contribution. So yes, karibuni sana wewe lecturer, ni kazi nzuri kabisa. Tunafundisha, tunafanya utafiti, tuna contribute towards the body of knowledge. Tunasema towards the body of knowledge. Karibuni sana, mtafurahia, mtaenjoy. And do you know another thing about being a lecturer?
No.
Your social capital inakuwa kubwa sana. Ni kila mwaka ninagusa watu 400 au 500. Mwingine anaondoka anaenda kuwa mwalimu, mwingine anaenda kuwa mwanasheria labda. Fikiria kila mwaka ninagusa maisha ya wanafunzi wangu 300 au 400, na wakifanikiwa wote wakamaliza. Wengine wanaenda kuwa walimu, wengine wanaenda kuwa watu wa mazingira, wengine wanaenda kuwa watawala, maeneo tofauti. Do you have an idea of how rich my social capital is?
Yes, by knowing that you get to train a little bit more professions, so it's
the social capital, it means that nina watu sehemu nyingi sana.
So it's like big connection.
Exactly. So that is one thing that is very good about being. So I can have a lot. Kama ingekuwa ni jeshi, mimi ningesema mimi jeshi langu ni nini? Kubwa. Umesikia? Kwa hiyo wanafunzi, watoto, karibuni sana lecturers.
Okay, so we are welcome to become lecturers. Lecturers, not only lecturers, but remember those 3 mini buckets. You also remember them. So Dr. Lily here is advising us that we should also join my future occupation as being a lecturer, because it is so interesting. Ni career moja nzuri because in a connection kubwa. And she just said that it's wealthy, it's rich because you have a lot of connections. You have created a lot of impact. Imagine teaching 300 students or something, and all of them being able to graduate and getting degrees, that is one big huge thing. That is so amazing. Wazazi, mhadhiri ni kazi nzuri sana. Ninajua mtoto mwenzangu ambaye amekuwa akifuatilia kipindi changu cha siku ya leo, either amepata interest ya kuwa mhadhiri au alikuwa anataka kuwa mhadhiri kabla hata ya kuangalia kipindi changu, na alivyokiangalia akapata motivation ya kuwa mhadhiri na ikaminspire so much. Wazazi, ningependa mtoe support kwa sisi watoto kama tunataka kuwa lecturer, kwa sababu ni kazi nzuri ambayo inafurahisha. Kumbuka tunaongelea 3 buckets za lecturer, ambayo inakuwa ni 1 bucket lakini inside it has 3 mini buckets. It's so amazing, so big. Remember, this is a program, My Future Occupation. Best program ever! This is wonderful. I was today, me, Michelle, and Dr. Lily. Mula mula. Bye! This program was proudly sponsored to you by Margie Kids Zone, a wonderful program. Now, Margie Kids Zone, hawa ni wauzaji ambao wanauza career costume nzuri sana kwa ajili ya watoto. Tunaweza kupata doctor stuff, engineer stuff and a lot more. Tunawashukuru sana Margie Kids Zone kwa kuweza kusponsor program ya My Future Occupation ili iweze kufikia watoto wengi sana duniani, ili waweze kujifunza mambo mengi. Tunawakaribisha sana sponsors wengine waweze kusupport program yetu ya My Future Occupation ili kuweza kuwafikia watoto wengi sana duniani waweze kujifunza vitu vingi. Karibuni sana sana sana. Asanteni na kwaheri. My Future Occupation. My Future Occupation.